So I've been wearing the Oculus Pro for 8 hours now, and I have some thoughts. A few months ago I spent a week of work inside of VR with the Meta Quest 2. If you haven't seen that video, I'll link it above and in the description. Spoiler alert, I kind of came to the conclusion that although productivity was boosted, the cumbersomeness and the power of that device, or lack thereof, meant I felt it could only be used sparingly. Well, lo and behold, this arrived at my front door yesterday, and it seemingly answered all of my prayers, with improved performance, mixed reality, and a feature that I didn't know much about that made this thing much less cumbersome than the Quest 2. This is the Meta Quest Pro, and while it's a hefty 1,500 Great British pounds, I thought I was the prime use case for a device like this, as it aims itself towards business productivity users over gaming. I tested a few features out yesterday to kind of get familiar with it and set up my room, eye tracking and facial feature tracking, but today I got straight to work with writing this script. And I have to say I'm already feeling the benefits of working in mixed reality. Having multiple monitors while still being able to see my surroundings and not worry if I was going to bump into things or spill my coffee, it's just amazing. It's also refreshing to see my room in the background, and the fact that I can see out the bottom of the headset meant I didn't feel completely sealed off from the outside world. From my last video, you'll know that I spent most of my working day in an app called Immersed, and today is no exception. But I tried Horizon Workrooms briefly in the morning by jumping on a call with a friend for our usual morning catch-up, because Horizon Workrooms is currently the only app that supports facial and eye tracking. Wearing glasses underneath the headset seems to ruin the eye tracking, so hopefully Meta can fix that in a future software update, but so I opted not to wear glasses for a better experience. So this is really starting to hurt my eyes now. I've been working for about 2 hours. I know this kind of fades with time as I continue to use it, but I'm going to go grab a coffee. I then moved on to some Webflow work. Yes, Webflow. Primarily working in Google Analytics and writing some JavaScript. This is really nice having this out in front of me. So I've got my code here, and I'm just kind of where I'm working on my JavaScript. I've got my Google Tag Manager and stuff like that to my left, and then my kind of documentation and various other like online research over to my right. And this is a really nice setup, and not to be completely cut off from the outside world. Like I can see through to my room right now, and obviously below my eyes here. So this is really nice to work in. The Meta Quest 2 really struggled with editing in Final Cut Pro. So let's do a quick bit of editing on my podcast and see how I get on. So this is my setup. This is my kind of editing setup. What if, it seems like it's scrolling through quite nicely. Maybe if I show in secondary display, timeline. I'll do a little bit of editing and then kind of give my verdict, I think. But this seems a lot smoother than what it was in the Meta Quest already. Once again, my eyes are hurting, so I need to take another break. For the rest of the day, I worked in Webflow, which really took advantage of those extra screens. But I'm finding I have to take a break almost every hour because my eyes were just really hurting. Hurting more than before for some reason. Maybe it's these pancake lenses, I don't know. And although it sits nicely on my head, I'm still getting pressure marks on my forehead, which I think are more prominent than the Quest 2, but just concentrated on my forehead. So what's my verdict? Well, if you remember, the original reason why I'm testing all this is because I'm going traveling in T-4 days. And I wanted to know if taking a VR headset could bring more productive setup with me on the road. And I have to say, the build quality of this headset and the small size makes it both a blessing and a curse to carry around with me on the road. I wish it came with a hard carry case for the amount I paid, but being smaller does fit better into my suitcase. The real question here is, does mixed reality make it a more viable solution? I would say that it really does. The way I can easily slip this thing on and off and not feel completely cut off from the outside world, the way I can set my room up and continue to wear the headset and move around and see what I'm doing is really great. The additional performance is welcome, as I could actually edit in Final Cut, and it's much less cumbersome than having to take on and off an entire headset. It just feels so much more nimble. So with all that being said, I do think I'll be returning this headset because it just isn't leaps and bounds ahead of the Quest 2. And with me being so ingrained into the Apple ecosystem, I'm now really curious to see what Apple do that would work more seamlessly with my existing devices. So I hope you enjoyed this experimental episode. I do these from time to time, and you can check out a playlist of weird things I've done over on my channel. Make sure you give it a like and a subscribe, watch one of these two videos, and I'll see you in the next one.